In today's video, I'm going to share with you a foam pumpkin makeover. Let's turn it into a snowman. Hi, I'm Stacy. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy and are inspired to create. Hi guys! I have a foam pumpkin makeover share for you. I'm using, I believe this is a 10-inch foam pumpkin, and then I bring in a 6-inch foam pumpkin. These were bought from Walmart. The larger one was $4, the smaller one was $2, so go get you some on clearance. I'm sure they'll be on clearance again. And I use some folk art chalk paint in the color sheepskin. You're going to need a paintbrush. You're going to need Mod Podge or some sort of sealer. I use the antique Waverly wax. I like to add the Mod Podge before I add the wax to have more control. You're going to need acrylic paint to paint the nose. You're going to need Crayola foam fun clay, like the model clay, the model magic. It doesn't matter what color it's in because we're going to paint it, but also Hobby Lobby has a brand. I'll let you know how it is. I got some of that. I used Distress Inks in Tattered Rose, I believe that is, to color the cheeks. That's Line's brand, Love by the Yarn. Can't talk today. When can I talk, guys? We got some safety eyes that I use for plushies. Now, I'm not going to crochet and I'm not going to assemble everything. I'm showing all the products. I put it up on the screen. The beanie and scarf I crocheted, they're chain one for whatever the length you want. When you do a beanie, you do it for however tall you want it. So leave room for the brim to fold over. I chained one for all of it. I did a chain and I can't recall what it was depending on what yarn you're using. That's how many you'll do. Just measure it up to your pumpkin. Then I turned back, went into the second loop over, or second chain over when I turned it to work in reverse. Did single crochets all the way across, chained one, and then I crocheted single crochets all the way the other way in the back loop only, chained one, and then continued it. And then once you hit the width, then you tie it off, you sew the end together, and you create your pom-pom. And then you weave your yarn through, tighten the top like a pull string, and then you sew it together and tie it off, and then you attach your pom-pom. I just leave a long piece of yarn to attach it. So here's what I did, and you'll be able to read it. As far as the embellishments, you'll want to do that. You know, you're going to pick what you have in your stash. Everything I had already in my stash. And then here's the finished product. Now I have another one that I crocheted up a hat and scarf for. I didn't like the sheepskin with it because it had white in the actual variegated yarn. So I went and got me some white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to make another one. And if you really want me to, I'll show the process on putting it together, but not the crocheting because that was already done. That nose I sculpted on a skewer. And see, I've made it wonky. Then I used my pokey tool and, used the side of it to make indents and used the sharp point and kind of scraped it across. I used the back end to push little divots to make that nose look real. And when I painted it, I sealed it with Mod Podge. And then I took antique wax from Waverly and applied it and let it get into all the little crevices so it looked real. And these are the embellishments I had in my stash, and I just attached them to one side of the yarn or the scarf. The bells, they were a brown flat color. They're the ones in the reindeer ornament kits at Hobby Lobby. I just used different paints and made them look rusted. And there's other snowflakes I had in my stash, and the little gems were from a berry pick that I had, and I attached them all over because I liked the glimmer that it gave. When you attach the pumpkins, just carve a hole in the bottom of the top one and then use the stem to rest it on, and I just used hot glue to attach the two. But that's a little pumpkin, isn't it cute? There's a pom-pom. I made that pom-pom with the pom-pom maker, and I think it was a 3 or 4 inch pom-pom. Use whatever size you want. You can even buy foam ones or not even use a pom-pom at all. or buy pre-made pom-poms and you could hot glue it on there. Thanks for spending some time with me, guys. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.